Hey, gang, it's the Retromutagen Podcast. I'm Mighty Matt.
And I'm the Toys That Made Us Season 3 megastar, the Shredder.
And today, we're talking turtles and... it's our fucking Christmas episode!
You ever heard of talking turtles?
What's that? Cowabunga!
Hang on, April.
Happy birthday!
Insufficient data, boss. Look, trust me when I tell you.
My name's
You don't
Rudolph.
want to do this.
Booyakasha.
Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
Cowabunga!
Oh, y'all got jokes, huh?
Why don't we talk about turtles?
Yeah, fucking Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Get the fucking episode. Christmas! Motherfucking Christmas and shit.
All right, well, hey gang, Merry Christmas. It's us, the Retromutagen Dudes, and today we thought we'd do a kind of a first for the show, something a little different. We're going to do a watch-along, so you'll be able to listen to us and watch along with what we're about to watch today. Shredder, you want to tell them what we are about to watch, and people can watch along and listen to us kind of commentate during this thing? Tell them, what are we watching?
Yeah, well, today we're going to watch one of the greatest achievements in film history, not to mention the Turtles franchise or ever to come along for Christmas, and it's We Wish You a Turtle Christmas. Have you seen this?
I have. I've watched the whole thing once. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've been able to bring myself to watch the whole thing in its entirety since the one time. I've seen parts of it, since then. Clips of it will show up on my Facebook feed or whatever. There's usually like somebody will take one of the songs and post it, so I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't actually sat down and watched the entire thing a second time yet. So this will be interesting.
This will be fun. It's kind of become a tradition in my house, and I've actually kind of grown to love this stupid, horrible special. Like, it kind of hits that sweet spot for me of being so bad it's good. Honestly, after watching it here with you, I'll definitely watch it again before Christmas this year. So it's fun. It's really bad, but it's fun.
It most people in the Ninja Turtles fandom community, whatever, usually kind of point to this as one of the low points in the Turtles franchise. It's definitely one of the worst. When you make the Coming Out of Our Shells tour look like Citizen Kane, that's a real big accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a little. I just did a little research on this thing. So it was released direct to video in 1994. On IMDb, it's got a 2.0 rating out of 10. So just to let you know what most people think of the quality of this thing. It was directed by Larry Osborne. One of the most interesting things I was able to find is that the budget for this was $5,000.
Where'd it go?
That's what I was about to say. It's like what they do with the other, $4,500. Yeah. So the budget of $5,000 and a IMDb score of 2.0 out of 10. We're in for a real treat.
I'll tell you what, though, honestly, those guys must not have gotten paid enough, because we're still talking about it this much longer. So what kind of royalties do you suppose they saw from a film that they only spent $5,000 on making?
That's true. I'm sure a lot of that went towards sets, renting the costumes from the Coming Out of Our Shells tour. The actors that were involved with this probably didn't get a whole lot. And it's something that's still getting talked about today because, look, it was Ninja Turtles. Granted, this came out in 94, so this was at the tail end of the original Ninja Turtles explosion. By 94, you were starting to see a shift, a popularity shift. The popularity of Turtles was starting to go down, and popularity of Power Rangers was going way up by 94. Right. But still, it was still something involved with the Turtles, which was still a kind of a big deal at the time.
Yeah, and you nailed it with saying like people always point to this as being like this is the worst turtle thing. There are far worse than this. Like it does.
There
get
are?
worse than there is. I mean, the getting down in your town and turtle tunes and I mean, give it a break.
Yeah, those are pretty bad.
But this is also bad. This is also on the bottom rung.
Come on, you can't sit here and say like there's worse things. There's maybe, but there's not a lot worse than this.
There's a few rise, but but no, like I would love to talk to someone. If someone out there was involved in this, please get a hold of me. I would love to have you on the show. Like
absolutely, yeah.
Oh my god, this thing. It is a train wreck, but okay. All right, so if you want to watch this at home, it is on YouTube in its entirety. We'll tell you when we're going to start it, and you can just kind of keep along pace with us, and hopefully it will be up to watch with our lovely commentary eventually. I'm ready to go.
All right, so and we'll play it at 3, 2, 1, and then we'll play. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and play. Right. Ninja Turtle logo comes up, the classic logo.
And we get this awesome reggae music, which is what everyone was expecting.
This music right now is not that far off. I mean, I know it gets worse later on, but this, I don't know. I can get behind this music. It's interesting that they're starting off with like footage of like live action turtles crawling around all over the place.
At least they rendered sliders. Like at least they nailed the species.
Yeah. They got one thing right.
then you got this freaking nightmare. Look at these costumes.
You see the real turtles, and then you see these monstrosities. Boy, that Retromutagen Dudes really kind of messed them up.
Yeah, I just don't understand the art direction with these costumes and any of the things that they show up in with coming out of their shells or anything. Like, what happened?
I don't know, but I will say this. That at least these turtles have shells, unlike the coming out of our shells tour turtles, which didn't have shells. They had vests to kind of cover the shells, I guess. But come on, you could tell they didn't have no damn shells.
Right. Well, I guess that was like a late in production change. Like initially they had shells with like electronics in them, but it was too much for the actors to like handle, like jumping around the stage and singing with that stuff. So they took it off and gave them vests. Right.
Which I mean, it's understandable, but on the other hand, it's like I want my turtles to have shells.
Well, I mean, it's kind of an important part of a turtle, right?
Yeah. You might as well just call it something else.
Right.
Now we've got the reggae music.
Here we go.
This is my biggest problem with this thing too. It's like, listen to these turtles. Like, does that really sound like Leo?
You nailed it before. You said they all sound the same. And it's like, were they all voiced by one guy? I mean, they're identical.
On the IMDb, there are individual actors listed as the actors for each turtle. So there were 4 different people, but for some reason they casted 4 guys that sounded exactly the same.
Wow. I would love to know. Like, I'd like to talk to these guys and be like, "What happened? Like behind the scenes, were you trying to do a Leo voice?" And they're like, "No, make it more like this." And so they just told everyone the same thing. Like, you gotta sound like this one generic, like Jamaican-esque guy.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these actors didn't know who these characters were and probably weren't giving that much direction other than, hey, just try to sound like a surfer dude. And so they all sounded like their version of Surfer Dude, which kind of all sounded the same.
I love in this song, there's the part where he just goes, what? What? How do you spell that? Did you read that from a script? Like, how did that come to be?
What is that called? Scat?
Yeah.
When you go, maybe that was just written in the lyrics as, Leonardo Scats.
Right. It was Scatman John 0. He did a poor job. Who is on that list? That's a long list.
Yeah, like who the hell did the Turtles know? They know April, Splinter, Casey.
And they're done.
I mean, maybe. Well, maybe this list also includes a lot of the action figure characters. Maybe they have to get something for King Lionheart and Dr. L.
It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys were out, buying for half court.
And Sandstorm.
Well, see, Leo just said he got presents for the kids. Who are these kids?
It's the kids that they hang out. Duh! Don't you remember all those times where the Ninja Turtles are out hanging out with kids, out in public, out in,
I remember them doing that soon.
Yeah, that's the only time I remember them doing that.
I have that. They have this like pink fridge too. I don't know why. Like,
I will say that some of these sets or locations where they filmed are kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this is clearly the same walkway over and over, but.
Oh yeah.
But this is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's also kind of sad when you have to sit there and be like, well, the locations are nice.
The lighting is poor, right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks like a sewer. I mean... And here's where Mikey gets his scarf. And I read or saw somewhere that his costume ripped during the filming. So there's parts of this where he has a scarf to cover up that like the costume's ripped.
It's totally believable. I don't if it's true or not. I don't know, but I could totally see that being a thing. When your budget is $5,000, I can imagine that fixing it up would probably cost too much. So let's get a scarf that's on set and just cover them up.
Right. Yeah, I wonder whose scarf that was. Someone needs to find that. Whose scarf was that right there? And who is this guy?
Who the hell are these kids?
Mighty Ducks.
Just the neighborhood kids just hanging around like, oh, well, I'm asking who the hell these kids are.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They tried out. They're like, I'm going to be in Mighty Ducks. And like, nah, you didn't get it. But I got another project you could do. Can you smack a bucket?
Didn't nail that audition for Mighty Ducks, but I'm totally in this special called We Wish You a Turtle Christmas.
It's gotta suck too, because if I were a kid at that time period and they're like, how would you like to be in the next live action Ninja Turtle production? I would have shit my pants. Like, of course.
Oh yeah.
And then you're this rollerblading nobody.
Next to these turtles.
Right.
It's nice to know that these kids aren't terrified by these huge, mutated creatures with the bug eyes and the ever-showing teeth.
Right. I actually kind of like this song.
I've never noticed. Look at the feet. Their feet look really, really weird.
That's true. I've never paid much attention. Like, Leo has all black pads on. Raph has one black pad on, and the rest are brown. And they all have black high tops. Or something on their feet.
Their toes, because obviously it's just human feet. It makes it look like they have really skinny toes. Like they all got ran over by a truck and gotten flattened feet. Yeah, right there. Look at that.
I can't stop looking at their feet now.
I can't either. Once I noticed it, I'm like, of all the things to really be kind of focused on with these suits, now I'm focused on the feet.
I'm glad Raph addresses there. That why the hell are we singing right now? We're supposed to be getting a gift. We got 2 hours.
We gotta go look for present for Splendor.
This, but why?
What's up with that Santa Claus? He's just sitting there he's not scared. He's not confused. He's just kind of staring at him, kind of hunched over.
I love this Santa Claus because it's very clear that he is not part of this group and has no idea what's going on. He's just watching him what the hell? Get out of here. I'm trying to work this corner.
And I've got a big problem with the turtles just standing in the middle of Times Square.
Look at him. He just
Not trying to hide or anything. Yeah, he took the belt from Santa like he doesn't give a shit. Look at Santa.
I don't have an answer.
The only thing I'll say is that this actually, at least this is sort of like in character for Michelangelo. This is something he would do, like break out into like an opera song, I guess. I feel like because,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's so many times where the turtles usually, throughout the special, have not really like sounded or acted like themselves.
Right.
So it's nice to see at least one of them acting like themselves. But this is going on way too long too.
Yeah, this is a long scene. There's Sabaros.
Like, I feel like the other actors, like Leo and Don and Raph, they literally have no idea what to do because this is going on way too long.
Yeah, they're just like, okay. It took them an hour to get from the rollerblading kid to this Santa with the bell.
Yeah.
Remember when Not was a valid comeback?
Yeah. I didn't even think that really applied right there. Hey, nice Adidas. Oh, I like those.
No, it's 5. It's 5 yellow. I've never seen Splinter wear a tie.
The hell is that?
I
know it was supposed to be pizza, but it didn't look like pizza.
No. This may be the more famous song from this.
It is, yeah. This is the one that I see get shared the most on like Facebook.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be honest, it's probably the more tolerable of all the songs in this special.
Yeah, I don't know that in the past decade I've ever rapped anything without at least referencing the rap. I'm just mesmerized by it. I don't even have words for it. Like
just slapping hands. There's not a whole lot of actual rapping, as in present rapping going on. They're rapping about it, but they're not actually doing anything.
No, all he's done is rolled some wrapping paper over a box so far.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see him like make the folds and like use the tape to like tape it up and cut it in the proper way and like not a whole lot of that. I was hoping to get some tips on how to wrap a present properly from Leo, but apparently he's just gonna rap about rapping and not actually do it.
Yeah, the turtles are grade A procrastinators, man. Like, it's gotta be difficult to wrap this stuff with only the 3 fingers also. Right? I mean, I would imagine that it probably looks just horrendous when they're done.
You're right about them being procrastinators. I mean, they had to stop for a 5-minute opera segment in the middle of Times Square when there was only an hour left of Christmas shopping time.
Right. It's like the Michael Bay movie whenever they're like dancing in the elevator, but just way overboard.
Yes.
No, those look pretty good. They did a good job.
Yeah, I was expecting a nightmare, but that turned out all right. Yeah, good night, Leo. Good night, Raphael.
What we got here? Why are you opening that? You wrapped it.
He wrapped it so he could open it up the next day, of course.
He only wrapped the front of the box. Oh my god.
Who the hell is that in the purple?
That's Young Girl, number 4. This song actually sets off my anxiety. Like,
the only version of this song I can stomach really is the Twisted Sister version.
Yeah. I like the 12 Pains of Christmas. That's good.
I don't know that one.
The 12 Pains of Christmas, it's on the radio here like every year.
I don't listen to radio, so I guess that's my problem. Man, look at that rat. That rat looks like ass.
It's not great.
This looks like Splinter if they took Splinter and ran him through like the dryer for a while, and like he just comes out looking like shit.
It's like back in the 90s whenever there'd be a sitcom and they would find a rat and it was fine and you accepted it because you were watching it on a 12-inch TV, but nowadays you watch that same sitcom and it's clear that it's just like a big fucking ball of fuzz.
Yeah. It's awfully nice of the turtles to invite these kids down into their lair on Christmas morning.
Yeah, like
Feel bad for the kids, though. Don't they have families that they'd rather be spending Christmas with? They never said anything about them being orphans or anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess if it's Christmas Eve and everything's about to close and they're out skateboarding by trash fires, maybe they're homeless.
Yeah. Although they're pretty well dressed for homeless kids.
That's true. We need to address that they got Splinter so much shit. Like,
I'm a little disappointed in the 2 comic books, though. I wish there were more comic books, to be honest.
yeah, 2 comic books, but 5 video games. Where are they getting all this cash?
Like the video games are way more expensive than comic books, and those were Archie comic books from mid-90s, so those were probably like $1.50. So you could have gotten way more comic books.
Right, and less frisbees and yo-yos.
Yeah.
Or neckties, because I don't think I've ever seen him wear one in my life.
Splinter's never worn a necktie.
I don't know how he's gonna wear these K-Swiss, these Adidas. They got, look, what? Those are not getting on his feet. That was a Homer gift. They wanted that for their small ass feet.
I kind of wish the presents were a little bit more turtle centric. I mean, I know they're mentioning things like, manhole covers and pizza, but like there are certain things like shoes and I don't know, video games that are just a little bit generic.
Yeah, for sure.
It could have been like more like ninja things, I guess, like throwing stars or nunchucks, bow staffs or something. I don't know.
Not on a $5,000 budget, it couldn't.
So it just feels like it's just a bunch of random items.
Yeah. The manhole cover thing, I mean, that's a felony. Like, they just stole manhole covers?
Yeah.
Bunch of crash cars and shit on Christmas morning.
I like how Leo just said, well, that was like the longest song ever. But I think it lasted the same amount of time as that stupid opera song.
Well, the other thing is, at least with this song, you can listen to the lyrics as dumb as they are. The opera song, I don't know what's going on. It's just a bunch of nonsense.
Does anybody want a pizza? Sheesh. Yeah, he's so sentimental, huh?
Alright. That was such a 90s thing, too. You always heard people say no anchovies on everything. It was constant. Like,
yeah.
I don't even think I've ever been to a pizza place that had anchovies.
Yeah, for some reason that was just a catchphrase. It was like, Nike's just do it. No anchovies.
Right. People going, it's the 90s all the time.
Because, God forbid, I know pizza places, I'm sure, would usually just throw anchovies on pizza because obviously everybody wants anchovies. So it's really important that you say no anchovies.
Right. It's like it's a code word for, weed, right? Like, you call somewhere, you say, yeah, also, no anchovies, wink, wink, and there's going to be a baggie in your box when you get it. They even put it in the song. This little girl clearly doesn't know what the hell's going on, by the way.
Oh, yeah. She's hanging on to the other girl's hand now because she's totally lost.
Yeah, she's just looking around lost. None of these kids seem overly happy to be here.
It definitely looks like that was probably their first job acting.
Right.
And maybe even dancing.
Their first opportunity ever
To
doing
dance.
human things. Yeah.
Always makes me curious what, like, when you watch something like this that has, like, you know, child actors, like, I wonder, like, what happened to this person, this young person that had their whole life ahead of them, and then they spent who knows how long, you know, working on this piece of shit.
Right. I wonder, like, how long it took to film this. It had to be like a day, right?
I mean, it couldn't have been long. It definitely didn't take them long to write it. It definitely didn't. I'm sure it didn't take them long to film it.
Skateboard sequence was James Eric something. The camera equipment was by the Camera Service Center. Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Special thanks to Jeff Markowitz. They even, like, I'm gonna leave this rolling because they go into, like, some stupid dialogue at the end, too.
Right, yeah, there's, like, some weird... They just keep talking, even though, like, there's no visuals anymore. It's just black screen now. Right now we've got, you know, the credits, which has been the best part of the special. Yeah, here it comes.
Totally gnarly Jamaican stuff. I like that Rastafarian kind of stuff. What do you think the stuff was? It was my stuff, man. Come on.
I don't know who that is talking.
I can't tell one turtle from the other. I don't know who's supposed to be who.
It was totally cool, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think so too, Mikey man.
Oh, that was what? Mikey Man.
Did that go on for like 12 years or what? What are you talking about? Oh, sorry, Master Splinter. I mean, it was the best song of the whole.
And I guess that's the weakest, you know, attempt at an old man voice ever. What did you think, my sons?
And singing "We Wish You a Turtle's Christmas."
Literally anyone could do that voice.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It's the most lackadaisical attempt at doing a Splitter voice ever.
Oh my god.
I see now, like, there's no more credits, there's nothing, and they're still just talking about nothing.
I love the part where he said, "Totally cool, if you know what I mean." What? Yeah. It was pretty straightforward.
we get it, yeah.
You know, I really like that Donatello watch. That sold like hotcakes, like totally happening this Christmas. Oh man.
Could you imagine being a kid, leaving the tape going, and, like, sitting in front of your TV and this shit is still going on like this? Like, it's a blank screen. There's nothing. You're just listening to them just bicker. And it's over.
It's glorious. It makes you wonder, like, did they intend to add something in there, or was it always the plan for a black screen? Did they just run out of funding? Was someone supposed to cut it before that and just didn't? Like,
it makes me, yeah, like, here's what I'm thinking what happened. I think what happened was they intended for all of that dialogue to just be played over the actual credits. But then, like, when they had that "We Wish You a Turtle Christmas" song at the end, they were like, this is too good to, like, not also play over the credits. And so they kind of, like, had to come up with a compromise. It's like, well, we really wanted all this nonsensical dialogue to be played over the credits, but we've got this really great song, and we want that to play over the credits, so why don't we just do both? We'll just have the song play until the end, and then we'll have all this, you know, dialogue going on.
That's more than likely what occurred. I happened to look up here because the director was Larry Osborne. Now, if you don't know Larry Osborne,
and how could you not?
He's known for such masterpieces as "We Wish You a Turtle Christmas," Turtle Tunes, and that's it. Nothing else. That was his whole career.
That's his career, just doing 2 direct-to-video Ninja Turtle specials. Well, look, the guy got paid, so hopefully it was enough for him.
Wow, it makes me wonder, like, love it or hate it, coming out of their shells made money. That put people in seats and it raked in money. He had to have thought to himself, hey, I can get those costumes for about $4,000 and I'm going to throw out some specials, use them, and it's going to make me big bucks. And what he came up with was We Wish You a Turtle Christmas and Turtle Tunes. And it just didn't pan out.
You know, it would be great if we could get an interview with this Larry Osborne and kind of like ask him a lot of these questions about the production of these specials. It'd be great to learn more about this stuff. I'm genuinely interested. I would genuinely like to talk to the guy, not goof on him and say like, "Oh, hey, guess what? You directed some pieces of shit." No, I mean, he had very limited budget, and like, he had to work with what he had. So give him props for that. And I would just like to, it'd be great to hear stories about the making of this stuff.
Yeah, no, I would genuinely be interested in some behind the scenes info on some of these, because I don't feel like that stuff's around. Like, there's all these behind the scenes things you get from like the original film, or of course now with Nickelodeon there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff because of the internet and things. I would love to have some behind the scenes info on like specials like this. It'd be awesome.
Right, some of the lesser known turtle projects that don't get a whole lot of attention. It'd be nice to learn a little bit more about those.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, this was fun.
It was fun. It was an experience. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, maybe some of our listeners have never seen or heard this, and now they know. Like, you guys are welcome. That's
or if you've seen it like 100 times, like Shredder has. And you wanted to, listen to two people, commentate during it while you watch it. Now you've got a new way to watch it. So there you go.
Yeah, we aim to please.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, that was fun. I like doing the watch along thing. We'll have to do some more of that in the coming months. And I really do want to wish everyone else out there a turtle Christmas, or maybe not a turtle Christmas, but a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, maybe not saying we wish you a turtle Christmas is the best idea, because if that's if this special is any indication to the quality of a turtle Christmas, maybe we should just wish everybody a Merry Christmas instead.
Yeah, I didn't mean to insult anyone.
But in all seriousness, no, we both kind of wish everybody out there a very happy holidays, whatever holiday you and your family and your loved ones celebrate. We hope that you all make the best of it and make great memories with your family and friends that'll last a lifetime. And hope everybody stays safe. Yeah, just make the most of it, man.
Hey, whose idea was it to come up with that totally gnarly Jamaican stuff? I like that Rastafarian kind of stuff.
What do you think the stuff was? It was my stuff, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Who else but somebody like Leonardo could think of something like that?
Well, I gotta tell you, it was totally cool, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think so too, Mikey, man. How about that 12 days, though, man? Did that go on for like 12 years or what?
What are you talking about, my son?
Oh, sorry, Master Splinter. I mean, it was like the best song of the whole thing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it right now.
Well, we really like the kids helping us out on getting a gift for Splinter and singing We Wish You a Turtle's Christmas. I mean, that was really nice. It was very Christmassy.
How about some of my favorites, like, Rap? Was that something awesome or what, man?
Hey, that was some Christmas tree, though, wasn't it?
Oh, man, it was, like, totally awesome.
And what was with that pair of sneakers you got me? They were a little too small for my feet, and I only have 3 toes, thank you very much.
Oh, come on, man. I'm trying to do the best I can. It was like, last-second shopping. That's about, like, all they had left. You ever tried to go out and buy a sneaker with 2 toes? The lady almost, like, laughed me out of Macy's, man. Come on, Leo.
Hey, I really like that Donatello watch. That sold like hotcakes, like... totally happening this Christmas.
Oh, man, I got one on right now, but wait a minute. I think it stopped, man. What's going on out there, man?
Hey, give me some of that.